starts with just one spark. Let's celebrate the spark inside of you. We have a special guest today, and we are going to talk about celebrating creativity through music. Heidi, will you please introduce our special guest?
Why, yes, Francine. Today we have with us Sean Sonoe, and I met him on the wild internets networking, and he has an amazing story, and I cannot wait to share it with you today.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Sean.
It's great to be here.
So we were talking earlier, right before we started going live. Sean, we're interested in your last name. Where did that come from?
I see. It's actually my mother's maiden name that I use for my artist name, and it is Sonoe. And it is a Yaqui American Indian name from the Arizona tribes. And I live in Arizona now, but I grew up in Los Angeles. And so the name is on my mother's side. Her maiden name was Sonoe, and I thought it'd be great, Sean Sonoe, for my artist name. And my logo is a Indian head that I drew and made up, and I have just really always been steeped in the traditions of Native Americans from my mother and my father actually. Um, they retired to Arizona, and they loved visiting the reservations and just the culture of the Native Americans down here in Arizona. So, little history for my last name.
That's awesome. So, why don't you tell us a little bit more? What got you into music? When did you start playing? Give us a little background on all that.
Yeah, guitar, acoustic guitar has been my instrument, and it's always been my time waster. So other people play video games. I didn't know how to play guitar well at all, but I could make sounds on it, and I would sit around and do that instead of with a joystick in my hand. Um, it only became, and this is like when I was living in Santa Barbara. So I moved from Los Angeles to Santa Barbara, kind of getting out of the parents' house on my own when I was 18, and in Santa Barbara, I just owned a mountain bike and some clothes and not much. And I didn't need much and I didn't want much. But there I was getting into guitar. And not until very much later, during COVID, actually, I had a fountainhead of ideas for music. And my guitar playing was really improving. I was putting together arrangements and with middles and beginnings and ends and a bridge and a chorus and a verse. I just started getting good at this. I had a lot of time on my hand because I was unemployed. But like for 2 years, I was unemployed. Okay. But I built a music studio in my house, and I just started learning about making music. And one thing my brother said to me is, when you're creative and when it's flowing, you've got to stick with it and write everything down and record everything, because you'll be cold one day and you won't be able to think of anything. And so I took that to heart, and I created a tome of songs, and I started recording and collecting my melodies. And I built a catalog of songs I call rustic rock music. And I'm untrained. I am rough on the edges, and I don't care to be sound like anyone else or like radio music. So my arrangements are very organic and off the top of my head, and they're fun. And I have learned how to publish my music and how to record myself and how to take a song from the beginnings of just a melody and a few lyrics to a fully produced, 4-minute rock song that is mastered and mixed. And it takes like months to get it right. But once you get, so I have about 10 songs on Spotify that are to that really radio quality level, and they're a lot of fun, and I call it rustic rock music.
What I love about that is you talk about the process. You were talking about just getting inspired by passive inspiration, and that term just blew my mind. Just the most mundane things of life. But we as writers do the same thing. We get inspired just by life itself, our lives usually, and then through the editing process, like we talked about last week, we mold it into something that will inspire others. So
Right.
tell us about your process of getting inspired and things that you've been inspired by, please.
Yeah, I am open to everything I see, and I see a story in kind of like every person that I notice. I'm not, I don't notice every single person that I see, but some people you just notice them and they look interesting. Like I had mentioned, like I can be passively inspired by like a homeless guy on the bus who just the way he lays there, the way he gets up, the way what he's wearing, the way he talks to someone, his mannerism, and as he leaves the bus, and I've just been inspired. And 9 times out of 10, I will go home and write something about that guy. And it doesn't have to rhyme at first, but the basic seeds of what his life is about. Where is he going next? Where did he just come from? Where is he going to sleep tonight? What are his thoughts? Where are his family? I've put people like this in my songs. I have a song called Bombing Down Sunset, which is Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, where I grew up. I grew up going to Griffith Park and Tommy's famous chili burgers and all the iconic places around Los Angeles. And my grandfather on my mom's side, the Indian side, he was very much an alcoholic and a hardcore one at that. And we used to have to go find him in the alleys around downtown Los Angeles because he was living with us, but he would get his paycheck and, from his disability and whatever else he got. And he would hit the bus down to Los Angeles. I mean, we lived outside of LA. He would go down deep downtown Los Angeles and get drunk for 5 days. And my lyrics are, there's an old man drunk in the alley, but somewhere he's got a family. He was once somebody's lover. He used to have best friends. And my mother always said, never judge a book by its cover. So I worked all that into my song, and no one would know unless I told you, but that's my grandpa.
Yeah.
So I was saying passive inspiration, and then there's asserted inspiration or intentional. I said Tony Robbins, he's there to inspire you, to improve your life. So weigh the passive versus intentional inspiration. 2 types of things. I'm usually on the passive side. I just kind of take it all in.
I wonder, could we as authors be both? We intend to inspire, but somehow passively we're going to inspire people who really never thought they would be inspired by our stories. Like, mine's about being an aircraft electrician in the military. And
wow.
Then after retirement, I became a children's book author.
Wow.
I'm not out there trying to inspire people to be an aircraft electrician or a children's book author, but you never know what part of my story might passively spark inspiration in somebody. Have you ever experienced something where somebody like totally out in left field just really resonated with you like that?
Yeah, I mean, people I may not even know, but you can see people going through a horrible plight, someone fighting cancer, someone that your personal experience is really far removed as far as knowing what they're going through. But it comes and goes with me. I mean, there was a saying, but for the grace of God, there go I. And yeah, I'm not homeless. And, I just recently bought a cool car that I like. And whatever, I'm a homeowner. Just because I had to work for these things. And I still have to work for them every day. I don't really own anything, it seems, but you know, I am able to keep the life going for my wife and I. And a lot of people don't have that, but also they didn't work day in, day out to get it either. Must, you know, something must have went wrong. And then there's mental illness, and that's, you know, that's, how do you surmount that? I work downtown Phoenix, and I walk around downtown, and there's beautiful graffiti sometimes, and there's beautiful art, and there are colors and skyscrapers and homeless people, and some of them are crazy. And a guy came up to me and yelled in my face the other day, and he got right in my face, and I'm looking at him, and I know, you know, he's homeless and he's crazy, and I'm trying, I hope I don't get spit on, but I just looked at him and let him do his thing, and then he walked away and kept yelling, you know. And I was inspired by that. I was inspired by his plight, and not once did I really think about violence. I just, that would have to be the next step. But I just looked him in the eye and waited for, like, so what are you really about? But I think he didn't even know. So,
That's profound.
yeah, I get
And
experience.
Francine, to add to that a little bit too, from like the perspective of authors that have inspired me, one series in particular, the Anne Rice Mayfair Witches
Oh
series.
yeah, wow.
I don't know how far I got into the books, but I specifically remember just having one of those like song downloads where I sat down and I wrote the whole thing out, and I'm like, okay, it's here. And it's really cool when it happens, because Sean, you were talking about this earlier, that like freeze out where all of a sudden you're sitting there with the paper and you're like, I got nothing. I absolutely like have nothing. But I feel like when you use the approach, like you were saying, like you're kind of open to anything. You know, you're observing life, and maybe not even observing it from a way of judgment, because I'm not hearing you be judgy at all about these people. You're looking at it from a place of discernment, and you know, what story does this person have to tell? And so I just think, for those people, whether you're a writer or an painter, any kind of artist, really, if you're worrying about getting into that space where inspiration has just completely dried up, I think that just being open to enjoying the moments of life that are around you,
Yeah.
and getting inspiration from those little things.
And one thing you should remember when you are there, and if it's called writer's block or whatnot, ask yourself, what do I want to say? Why do I have paper in front of me in the first place? What do I want to say? It doesn't have to rhyme. It could be bullet points. The piano works like this, and melodies are made of high-pitched sounds, and whatever you're going to write. And I see a tree outside my window, and the breeze is rushing through the leaves, and I can hear it. Whatever you're going to start with. And today I felt sad because I sold my car that I had for 15 years. I loved it. Or whatever you have, you know. I found an old teddy bear in the box when I was cleaning up. Hey, just, what do you want to say? Ask yourself. And that's how I get
I like that you talk about breaking it down like that, and just put down whatever. Like maybe you have to draw a picture to get like the thoughts out of your head. They don't have to make sense in the moment when it all gets jotted down. I feel like I've got this whole notebook that's full of stuff like this. I've got some pages that have like 3 words on it. And then you've got another one with like some really neat print, and there's all kinds of stuff. And then another page where I'm like sloppiest handwriting ever, and there's just random scribbles of stuff and sentences, and it doesn't seem like it makes any sense at all. But I will also go back to that later. if I'm in one of those stuck creative moments, and it never seems to fail, I'll pick something out of that, some sort of random sentence that was just an observation when I was in that creative moment where, like you're saying, what do I have something I need to say. So get it down on paper, because it might not make any sense right now, but later on you can come back to it and it might be that piece that you're looking for.
Yeah, and one way to build some prose up is to ask questions. Take that material you wrote down and distill a question out of some of that stuff. Why does the caged bird sing? Ask a question. That's, you know, and that's always a profound question, and that's been in songs before. And I put it in one of my songs because nobody knows who I am, so I can steal lyrics. No, just kidding. But it was in like a Sam Cooke song, I believe. And it's been in old jazz blues songs. Why does the caged bird sing? Some might say because he doesn't know any better. But why does the caged bird sing about a damn thing? That's how I put it in my song. Like, because I'm pissed off for him. Why does he sing about anything? Why does he sing about a damn thing? He's, you know, he's a caged bird. He's a boat that can't float. He's a car that's going nowhere. He's a rocket ship that's going to stay on the ground.
Unlike my birds that I had to chase out of the
What
ground.
about your birds
It's cold
today?
to be outside today.
Wow, I don't have birds.
Mine are spoiled, and that's why they squawk.
Yeah.
So I also heard you guys talking before we came on the episode. Sean, you were working on a little piece of music for Francine, is what I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Let your sparkle shine and shake your tail, right? Yeah, I was very happy and honored to be asked to help with this song. And like happens so often, I already had this groovy kind of really windy, free-feeling jam that's kind of a jazzy tune, and it had no lyrics, but it's very upbeat, and you could dance to it. And I get the image of a girl twirling her dress, and just people having a good time. And this is what Francine relayed to me as the spirit of her song for the book. And I just started recording it last night because it's just been in my head and I had no reason to record it. I wasn't going to fill it out into a real song, but I recorded it last night. It's very fun. It feels like you're on a yacht in the middle of the ocean and you're just dancing, having a good time with people. So, and then I read the description of her book, kind of the foreword, and I started writing simple lyrics for it. And it's about club confidence for children and building their confidence. And I really like the subject matter being part of it being our differences versus our similarities versus our confidence and feeling good about yourself, but having a little bit of a journey to get there. So yeah, fun. I'm gonna I'd say later this week I should have a first run, or what do you call it? Anyway,
draft if we're talking about books, but I don't know what it is when we're talking about music.
Say something, but anyway, I'll have the first draft.
Version 1, 2, 3. It's versions in music, isn't it?
V1. I can't think, but anyway, yeah, I'll get you some this week though. And we'll see how you like it.
Wait. And then maybe we could play it next week on our show and give everyone a preview.
Yeah. I think they call it a scratch track.
Scratch track.
There you go.
Okay.
So it won't be mixed perfectly, and it's certainly not mastered or anything yet. But and it'll be a regular drum beat, like from a machine. But I have a drummer, and
Really?
drums are always really fun. They fill out music so well. But anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing the song or working on it more. Even I love the journey. Probably as much as the destination.
I'm so excited.
Oh, fun, Francine.
So Francine, I tried really hard to put a link in the chat, but apparently my internet's not strong enough to do that today.
Which
It
link?
does not. The rusticrockmusic.com
I
link.
already put it there.
Oh, well, fantastic. You see, I'm
Great.
behind like my internet is today.
That-
We're lucky
I
I'm
got
even here.
I got you. I have a hardwired internet connection. I got you.
Woo!
So,
Yeah.
Sean, before we wrap this up, is there anything that you want to promote besides going to the website, or is there something on your website that you want people to take a look at? This is your moment. What do you want people to go check out?
I do have something, and I'm really excited about it, and it's a Christmas song that I wrote.
Yeah.
It's called Christmas Time. The subtitle is like gather around the turkey, gather around the tree. And I have a female vocalist joining me on this song, and it is fully mastered and done. I finished it last year, and I tried to market it to radio stations, but it didn't get done until December, and it was too late. But in any case, this is a really fun song. It's for Christmas. It's called Christmas Time. It'll be at the top of my website once I get off this call. So I want to promote this for this December and the Christmas season. It is a really fun song. And it's about all the best times my parents gave us as kids for Christmas. You know, once you become an adult, you realize, oh, there was backstage to all of that. You know, it wasn't just all easy for them. And then the wonderful parts of Christmas that they made true for us, made happen for us. So it's a good spirited song, and it's got a female vocalist named Nell Dare who has joined me, and it's got great music, and I'm on guitar, harmonica. Harmonica gives a warm feel to things. You know, sometimes I put that in there to warm up the feel. It's almost like an accordion sound. In any case, Christmas Time by Sean Sonoe, I really hope that it could be really popular this year because it is a really fun song. I gave it to my dentist last year and on a CD, and he said it was their theme song for his family and his friends for the whole Christmas season.
I will just tell you that from someone who worked in retail for a very long time, there needs to be more Christmas songs. You can only hear the traditional Christmas songs so many times before going mad. Somebody needs to come up with a whole new soundtrack. Wow. Many songs. Musicians, write Christmas songs.
Yeah, well, start here. You're going to love it. It's pretty fun.
All right.
Song.
Awesome. Well, and we need to talk after the episode. I think I got to hook up for your radio thing. Maybe not for this Christmas, but you could definitely hit it up next year after you get all the buzz getting going from this year.
Okay. I want to do a little callback to the beginning of this episode when we were talking about inspiration. Isn't it beautiful that you just got inspired when you figured out how hard your parents worked to make your Christmas magical? See, you get your inspiration from just something that you take for granted your whole life, and then all of a sudden something sparks and it inspires your creativity.
Yep. The wholesomeness of growing up like the way I did with both my parents. They never divorced or anything, and I had a brother and a sister, and we had a regular small house in Los Angeles, and lots of family around and decorating. My mom loved to decorate Christmas. She had like 25 different Santas, and the season is magical, and it's wonderful when parents really make it a wholesome, great, magical season for the kids. A $200 bicycle can just blow your mind when you're a kid.
Right. Well, sadly, our time here is over already. It always goes so fast.
It does.
So I just want to remind everybody there's a QR code over in the corner of the screen. You can scan that. It takes you to our Believe community. There's prompts every day. So you could just start jotting down some of your ideas. You could start by putting some comments in there. Feels like you're on Facebook, but a lot more positive. Oh, hey. And get your story started. get it out there, whether you want to get it in a song or if you're thinking about joining our book anthology project and getting published in the next year. So, Francine,
It's
are
that
you
time
ready to
again.
take this to the ending?
Let's do it.
Mhm.
All right. So, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. And wait, I screwed that up. If you can if you can conceive it, you can believe it. There we go. And you can
Yeah.
achieve it. So,
From the head to the heart to the hands.
yes, you can.
can. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, girls. It
Thank
was
you,
really nice
Sean.
to
Thank you.
be
Thank
with you
you.
today. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Hopefully, we'll be seeing some more of you.
Oh, I know we will because he's
Yeah.
now the official songwriter for Sparkle Feathers.
I've been promoted already. Awesome.
You have been knighted.
I'll take it.
All right.